Kamsajiva Sadvaitam Savatutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagama Lalita Sri Visakharatam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesra Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namasute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabham Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यस्य कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य गौरकृष्णे नमः एक जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद जय द्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 So, Srila Prabhupada, he translates these words like this. Work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work causes bondage in this material world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duties for his satisfaction, and in that way, you will always remain free from bondage. So, the purport we will read and then we will discuss a little bit. Since one has to work even for the simple maintenance of a body, the prescribed duties for a particular social position and quality are so made that purpose can be fulfilled. Yajna means Lord Vishnu or sacrificial performances. All sacrificial performances also are meant for the satisfaction of Lord Vishnu. The Vedas enjoin Yajno Ve Vishnuhu. In other words, the same purpose is served whether one performs prescribed yajna or directly serve Lord Vishnu. Krishna consciousness is therefore performance of yajna as it is prescribed in these words. The Varnashram institution also aims at satisfying Lord Vishnu. Varnashram acharvata Purusena Paramaha Puman Vishnu Aradhyate is in Vishnu Puran, this sloka. Therefore, one has to work for the satisfaction of Vishnu. Any other work done in this material world will be cause of a bondage. For both good and evil work have their reactions, and any reaction binds the performer. Therefore, one has to work in Krishna consciousness to satisfy Krishna or Vishnu. And while performing such activities, one is in liberated state. This is the great art of doing work. And in the beginning, this process requires very expert guidance. One should therefore act very diligently under the expert guidance of a devotee of a Lord Krishna or previous karma because of my actions. And we are building another body already. You see, we are in the middle of building another body right now. We have this body because of the previous actions, because they bondage, they cause this bondage. Bondage means is create another body. Creating another body means you are surely going to come here again. You are again going to Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi. You are going to go through that birth, old age, disease and death. That's for sure. So here is the art, because we are into this Varnashram, right? We are into this Grihastha. Varna and ashram. We are Grihastha, that's what we are. So we should be doing, and then whatever the ashram, we are into ashram of Varna ashram, right? I mean, Grihastha ashram, that's the ashram. That's the category we are into, right? Now this Vikrami Prabhu is in the category of brahmachari, So we are Grihastha, after brahmachari comes the Grihastha, right? So that's the ashram we are into, most of us. So, and Varna, according to your quality, whatever the work you are doing, that's called Varna, right? Some are businessmen, some are doing the work of like fighting, like some soldiers, it's a Kshatriya work, and some are doing Brahmanika work, that serve, So these are the four Varnas, and we are in the category, like I consider myself as a Vaishya, that I do little business, That's what I consider myself. So we have this Vaishya and Grihastha, that ashram I have. So my duty in this is that how I can, doing this duty, which I am already into it, how I can nullify all the bondages. To do that, we say yajnarthat karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhana. Otherwise, it's going to bind you. If I don't offer the result of my activity to Krishna, Krishna himself, as I quoted earlier, saying that yad karosi yadasnasi yachuhosi dadatiyas yad tapasyasi kaunteya tad kuru samadarpanam. He says, everything you do, you offer to me. You see? So we offer food every day before we eat. Yajnarthat Yagna Sista Sina Santo Muchyante Sarvekli, we say, right? We sing that also, And then Krishna says that if you don't offer it to me, because why we should be offering to Krishna? Why we should be offering to Krishna? Question.
He's the one who gave us.
Exactly. Everything belongs to him. According to our previous karma, we have been given this bhagya, But we want to encroach upon others' property too. He said, mine is not enough. I want to take yours too. You see? That's the mentality we have created because we are out of this circle of spiritualism and only materialism. Right? So we want everything. Because if you have a land, now you want the whole town. If you have a town, now you want the whole region, state. If you have a whole state, now you want the whole country. And that's happening. Right? That I want to rule because I want to be the enjoyer and I want to controller of everything. Although you're not a controller, but we have this false sense of controlling, and that's why we are doing it. Right? So if we don't offer it to Krishna, who is the original proprietor of this, then you sure are going to be bound. Krishna says, and Prabhupada explains. Right? So that's why every activity we do, we should be offering to Krishna. So food or any resultant, otherwise you are going to have another body for sure. You have to we are sure to get that another body, and we're going to come back and we'll be looking for ISKCON again somewhere. Right? So our goal is that how we can nullify all our activities, and this art we have to learn. But you cannot learn the art at home only. You have to learn this, as Prabhupada explained, that in association of the devotees, you learn the actions, or if you learn the activities in association of other people. Just like that, we repeatedly been given the example that with other people we learn other activities, right? If he's drinking, we drink. If he's smoking, we smoke, And so, I was been advised before by my father. He said, don't go out with those kids, who smoke, because you will learn the smoking too. He knew. So I think it's very, very simple that we are going to learn that thing. So similarly, if we come into the temple, or if we only associate with the devotees, sometimes we also feel that it's very boring with the devotees. They don't do anything but Krishna Kirtan. That's what we kind of feel inside. So let me go out into the park and go to the picnic. Let me go to the Mount Charleston and have fun. Let me go to Los Angeles. Right? We want to enjoy. We think that by going to Los Angeles, by enjoying, I'll have more pleasure. But when we come back, we have no pleasure, from Los Angeles. We don't have that energy and that spirit. We are all tired from that. Similarly, I got this example, I think, from Badrinath Maharaj was talking last time, and he was here that there is a driver who take all the people from San Diego and bring it here for casino, right? To gamble. So they are so much excited, they make so much noise, and there is a big loud music and everything going on all the time in the bus, right? They take a bus and they bring him here. And then they come here, they drop them off, and then he picks up after, the weekend is over on Sunday. Then when they go back, nobody says a single word. They are all sleeping in the bus or not making any noise. What happened? What happened to that excitement, that pleasure, that temporary thing is all gone, Our situation is the same, When we want to try to enjoy materially, this is what happens. It doesn't last very long, and it continue give us so much of a trouble. So here Krishna says that if we want to, then we have to maneuver our activities in such a way that most of the activities become in a mode of goodness, and so we can be liberated. That at least we would have a chance, or he says Krishna can look at it and say, hey, my boy is at least trying. Although we keep on falling, but we have to try. We have to try. So we offer all our activities to Krishna. And that's what I think in the Sri Sampradaya. They have that Krishna Arpanam. Everything you even purchase, anything, shirt or something, you take it to the temple, offer to Krishna, and thank him that, okay, you have given it to me, and I partake it now, Krishna. So Prabhupada also says that, when we eat this become a prasadam, right? Because we offer it to Krishna, and we partake it, let Krishna eat first. So we don't have a bondage, for eating even, because otherwise, it's going to bind you. So that's the whole, I think that gradually, if we can develop that mentality to offer everything to Krishna, would be the way to go. In our situations where we are grihastha, right? And that's where we can relieve ourselves. And Krishna says that to Arjuna, that you can be, liberated, and you can be liberated. You don't really have to wait, because we can do it in this birth only. So it is very important for all of us to see how we can offer everything, to Krishna before you start satisfying your senses. Because otherwise it becomes material. As long as we bring anything in the service of Krishna, it becomes spiritual, and then we don't have to worry about it. Krishna has to worry about it. He takes care of everything for you, Otherwise we'll be in trouble. So I think that's what we will learn this week. We will learn what's the goal of Bhagavad Gita, that what I should be doing, how I can surrender. So you can surrender in a loving service of Krishna by, looking at the same slope for the new year, that how I can, offer everything to Krishna. Offering Krishna is that Krishna is not going to take away anything from us, right? We know that. Because so many times we put it and say, oh, it hasn't gone yet. But it says, Angani yasya saklendriya vrittimanti yashyanti panti kalyanti chiram jaganti. In the Brahma Samhita, this is the second sloka, which it says that Krishna's senses are so transcendental, he doesn't really have to eat your prasadam. He can eat with his eyes just looking at it, He can eat with his hands, You just don't realize it. That's why. You don't have a realization, or you don't have that transcendental power to see it, I was talking to this devotee this morning, and he says, Bhagavad Priya, we don't have that power to see, otherwise Krishna doesn't do any bad for anybody, no matter what. Krishna doesn't do anything. He just take away, We are in the plan of Krishna, Krishna has a plan for all of us, Actually, his greatest plan of Krishna is to capture us and take it back to Godhead, That's what Krishna's plan. And we just have to be a cooperator. You see, the Krishna's plan is to bring us back, We are loitering in this material world, And the father is saying that, son, don't loiter, come back to home. Come back home, And we, sometimes the son and the daughter listen. Sometimes they don't. We have seen it in our own experience, right? We tell our children, don't do that. It's not good for you. So Krishna is also telling us this, that, come back. This is a material world, dukkhalam asasvatam, abrahma bhunaloka punravarti rancha. Abrahma, on the whole Brahmanda, from Brahmalok to the Pata. Abrahma bhunaloka punravarti. Mamupeti dukkhanteya punarjanma na vidyate. If you come to my place, you won't come back, you see. So let's try for that. Let's try to see if we can offer as much as possible, or every activity we do to Krishna first. Even mentally, you can say, right? You don't have to come to the temple and say Krishna. You have Bhagavad Gita, you have a picture of Krishna at home, everybody of us, right? So we can say, Krishna, you have given me, I'm so lucky that you have given me. This is not my ability, actually. You know, I sometimes say that to Krishna. I say, I was a little boy in some village in India, and look at me. How? This is not my ability. How it happened? So it is all your mercy, Krishna, that you have put me into this platform, and this thought process, because all these things are bundle of thoughts. Our mind is a bundle of thought, right? Do you know what mind is? Anybody can explain? Have you anybody has seen mind or experienced mind? Nobody, right? What is mind actually? It's a bundle of thoughts, right? Intelligence. So that thought we have to change, because we are trying to do the spiritual thing, right? We are trying to catch everything spiritually with the material senses right now, right? I'm speaking with my tongue, which is material, everything is material. So how can you catch the spiritual thing with the material, So that you have to spiritualize everything. Even mind, intelligence and ego, all three are material, right? So it's very difficult for that, because when we leave this body, we are enclosed or enveloped. Our soul is enveloped into mind, intelligence and false ego. That is a bundle of thought, right? And that takes us, according to our mentality, it takes you into another body. So, if you want to go to the spiritual world, this mind, intelligence and ego also have to be spiritual. Then only it can happen, because the soul is spiritual. Only thing in our body spiritual is the soul. Rest of all things are material. So to make it spiritual and then go to the spiritual world, that's the only way to do it. But as Prabhupada explained, we were talking in yesterday, Transcendental Teachings of Prahlad Maharaj, that most of in the purport in Canto 7, chapter 6, verse number 32, we were talking yesterday, where it says that Nate vidu swad gatim Vishnu durasa ayu hiratamanena. We don't know what is good for us, right? And beside that, if we even know, then it says, the next verse says that if you know everything is good, you come here to the temple, you do the devotional service, but if you don't go under some spiritual or the highly elevated devotee, if you don't go under the shelter or don't take the path Raju Abhishekam, Mahyasam Niskinchana, the one who is completely like Prabhupada, somebody like that, no material desire, no material desire, completely free from material, some kind of devotee, that if you don't take the dust of that highly elevated devotee and put it on your head or other around body, it is very difficult to put our mind at the lotus feet of Krishna. Very difficult. Na tesa matir yavat kuru kramami, he says. Our intelligence won't go into that. Why? Because we haven't taken the blessings, we haven't taken the mercy of such a devotee, And then sometimes you feel, okay, then where can I find this kind of thing? Huh? You can think of that, right? Physically. Because the verse says that unless you smear over your whole body the dust of a lotus feet of a highly elevated devotee, Mahyasam Padrajabhishek, then how we can find it, right? So then once you desire that I want to get under the shelter of such a devotee, Krishna is in your heart. He will send somebody. But you have to be very, very truthful and very obedient asking for this. Right? Otherwise it won't happen. Because Krishna is sitting right next to you. And he will send such a devotee for you. And then you will be able to do that. But for now, we will just offer everything to Krishna, whatever the activity we do, and we will try to remember this. If I don't offer it, He's going to find me. So I'll end over there. Any questions? I'll take it. You come next week, and if I ask you what's the goal of Bhagavad Gita, and you start struggling. So we have to meditate on it. Can I remember this? Can I put this in my life? So we have to do that. Okay. That's the only way we can progress. Chanting is there to make our heart purify. So when we purify our heart by chanting, then we can see things as clear. So we should chant. We should read Bhagavad Gita. One verse a day, or one verse of Srimad Bhagavatam every day, or something. Before you go to sleep, some people say, I cannot fall asleep. I said, read Bhagavatam. One verse and you'll be out. Right? And then you will see the dreams of Krishna's devotee.